Hello, hi, hello, Cosmic Crew. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm really super excited to be back at you with another pick a card reading. You're on the spiritual channel, and I'm Lexi, in case you were wondering what's up. I hope you guys are well. I hope the quarantine or post quarantine situation in the world has not crushed your spirits. I am here to help uplift them. We've had a bit of a rough period where we explored some kind of difficult subjects, but today I'm here to bring massive amounts of light your way. We are going to explore through the metaphor of the forest, which can be a wondrous place of self-discovery and facing fears and overcoming challenges in order to fully become ourselves. So we're going to explore your spiritual path in this lifetime. Ooh, I'm super excited. I'm literally bursting from my skin to do this for you guys. Okay, so you have a choice today from 6 major arcanas. Remember what I taught you guys, or if you're new to this channel, basically, I would like you to, before you make a choice, take a deep breath in, breathe out. Close your eyes if you have to, keep them open if you have to, and make a choice based on your gut reaction, your instinct, the first thing that pops into your mind. Sometimes you can even select the number or the choice even before starting the video. That's what I like to do when I watch pick-a-card readings. In this way, the more you watch these readings, the more you're not only benefiting from a beautiful message that might resonate stronger for you if you choose to follow your gut, but you're also training your gut. You're training your intuition. You're living more based on your intuition, which is absolutely important during these times when the North Node has just switched into Gemini and the truth is wildly distorted by everyone in the media. So knowing your own truth, following your own intuition is priceless during these times. Okay, guys? So you have a choice between number 1, the sun. Number 2, the star. Number 3, high priestess. Number 4, the hierophant. Number 5, the empress. And number 6, the emperor. So, are you ready to enter the forest and uncover what is your spiritual story during this lifetime? Let's find out. I'll see you at your pile. Love you guys so much. Bye. Hi, pile number 1. That's for those of you that were drawn to the sun. This is your reading. Let's find out what your spiritual path is. So I'm going to pull some cards from the Mary L. Tarot first. Okay. So let's see. For pile number 1, what is their spiritual path? So 2 cards from the Mariel, and then we also have here the Santa Muerte Tarot. So I'm going to pull some cards from this as well. Okay, what's happening? Good. And to wrap it all up, I'm going to pull a card from the Animal Spirit Oracle. This is just to give me a sense of what is perhaps a guiding animal spirit in your life, or what is the lesson. Good. Do I need any confirmation? Yes, I need a confirmation to understand if this is about personal or... Okay, good. So let me show you the cards that fell out for you. Okay, you got the Hierophant, then you got the Tower, the Page of Cups, the Judgment card, Science or 6 of Swords, Prudence or 8 of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups. And lastly, your animal spirit is the Porcupine, number 48, and this is about time for a beginner's mind. Okay, pile number 1. You were drawn towards the sun for a very specific reason. And I think that this reason is that to a very large extent, you are brought into this lifetime to learn about love. But hear me out. This is not about romantic love necessarily. This is about love that can genuinely benefit a large group of people. I feel that with the Six of Swords here, the Ace of Cups in combination with the Page of Cups, this speaks about having a beginner's mind in terms of how you understand love. So your spiritual path is understanding how to love and how to share this love with others. It is not about a selfish form of love. It is not about having deep sexual romantic union with a partner. This is about giving to others. I see the Hierophant card, especially in this Mariel representation, that it is almost as if the milk of motherhood, right? But it is, in a sense, nurturing other people through your words, your thoughts, and your emotions, through your touch. You might have started off in life with a number of challenges regarding emotions. You might have been experiencing a lot of difficult situations where you had to understand a variety of different emotions, such as you had to understand what it means to lose somebody you love in order to feel that loss, in order to feel how important it is to take care of those that we love. You might have experienced unrequited love, to feel deeply within the scar that losing somebody leaves on our souls and how important love is. You could have come into this lifetime a little bit with some sort of like maybe speech impediment or incapacity to feel or understand the other person's perspective. To a large extent, we all as babies develop this capacity. But I think for you, it was a slower process. It took you a while to develop this mindfulness, this idea that the way I think can affect how a person thinks, and the way a person thinks affects how I think. The idea that developing empathy. So, for example, I place myself in your shoes and I understand how difficult this situation must be for you, even though the situation is not happening to me at the moment. So I feel that you learned so much about emotions. You might have in your birth chart a lot of difficult aspects to your moon, which is our unconscious mind, the way we rest and relax, our emotions and how they ebb and flow. Potentially to your Venus, which is all about how we relate to other people, how we love. So you could have some very difficult aspects to your moon or your Venus, Saturn, Pluto, Mars, stressing out your very the core of your emotions and how you relate to other people. And this was for a very particular reason. You were brought into this lifetime to learn to live in a collective. And not only that, but to give love to this collective, to give back to this collective, to your family, because ultimately families are the first group into which we are born. They are the first collective of people. We learn how to socialize initially from them. That doesn't mean that as we go throughout life, we can't unlearn some things. Obviously, our minds are plastic. Scientists have discovered that neurons can actually remake themselves after a long period of time, where we thought that once our neurons or the connections between the neurons are destroyed through pruning, then we won't have them anymore. But haha, guess what? The cortex can replenish itself. It's unbelievable, but it's true. So our brains can develop new pathways. We can learn and unlearn. And I feel like even if you had a very tough beginning, I feel like potentially your family might have been very strict. There was a lot of death in your family. You were separated from your siblings. You were separated from your homeland. Or you had to jump from school to school because your family had to move a lot. I feel that at the same time, you had that much chaos and change and, you know, a lot of comings and goings, and your household was always kind of like, whoa, what is happening? I can't find my stable footing. So this happened to you because you were supposed to learn about different types of emotions: anger, fury, ecstatic joy, bliss, loss. Finding courage within yourself to speak up, to say what's on your mind, to say what's in your heart. You genuinely are brought into this lifetime to overcome tower moments. And the tower, to my mind, is such a strong, powerful, intense card because it's a lot about emotional upheaval. It's not about necessarily mental upheaval, but I do feel that the tower, it's a situation where the thing that you most attach to is taken away from you, or is being, you know, kind of like ripped apart. But at the same time, it's being done to teach you to grow, to teach you to mature, and it will be replaced with something much better, okay? The tower had to destroy itself because it was full of cobwebs and nobody wanted to live in it. And it's also almost as if I see the tower as well as breaking down the walls that you build around yourself in self-defense. So it's kind of like piercing through the protective shield. You might have built walls around your heart because the initial reaction when you have a lot of loss and death and you have to struggle with a lot of intense feelings is to go within to self-protect yourself, right? So you might have exercised prudence and you might have built strong walls around your heart. But your true power, the Eight of Pentacles, lies in your hard work, in the hard work that is required to remain loving, to keep being the sunlight that warms other people around you in spite of adversity. You are taught to love and be loved, to feel the love and share it with others, and learn how nurturing and how supremely beautiful it is when you receive love from other people, when you allow yourself to be taken care of, to be given gifts. And these gifts can be material, financial things, such as people giving you money, people giving you objects of adoration, like jewelry or things to decorate yourself and your body, or memento moris or things like that, you know, things that remind you of the spiritual value of objects. But it can also be like, it can also be feel be feeling and being, right? I think this is the core of your spiritual path. Being a feeling person, feeling your way into being. I hope this makes sense. So people want to give you spiritual and emotional gifts as well. They want to make love to you. They want to kiss you. They want to touch you. They want to hug you. You have this aura around yourself. You have a little bit of naivety as well, and this is something precious. This is what you're born to be in this lifetime. The porcupine is such a sweet and gentle creature. They're very, very afraid. However, at the same time, they have these spikes around their bodies, right? And they, you know, in Romania we have this word aricesc, which is really beautiful, a very beautiful poetic verb. But I think it's kind of like you spike up, you know, immediately at the first sign of threat, or at people wanting to attack your heart chakra with what they say or what they do. It's like you spike up. However, your spiritual path is learning how to react with kind words, with forgiveness, with understanding, with patience to any situation that makes you spike up. Learn to pour a lot of love and a lot of light into your triggers, okay? You are the sun. Imagine what happens if you spike up around the sun. Well, all the light in the universe goes away. Planets start dying. This is basically the effect that you have around other people. People are drawn to you naturally because you have this healing, warm light. You have overcome a lot of things, but it's worth letting your guard down, okay? What happened to you in the past was happening just to form you. It's not going to come back. Now you've reached a moment in your life where you can actually share the milk of human kindness with other people. Okay? So, wow, I'm getting such goosebumps when I'm saying this. This is so powerful, you guys. I hope it resonates with those of you that chose pile number 1. I think this is gorgeous. So instead of reacting and spiking up when you are triggered, learn to accept that trigger. Become aware. Okay, my mother said this and it triggered me. I need to pour even more light. I need to accept that part of myself. I need to love it even more. Okay? This is actually, it's a bit kind of like counterintuitive, because obviously our organisms are biologically created to defend ourselves. So if somebody is kind of sending malintent or bad vibes towards you, first reaction is, biological reaction is like, boom, let me reject you. But we are more than our biology, okay? We are meant to evolve. We are meant to develop our consciousness. The age of Aquarius is upon us, guys. So in order to learn to handle that biological instinctive reaction, remind yourself of the fact that you are pure golden light. This is what's emanating from your heart chakra, and you see all the light that I have around me as I'm placing my hand to my heart right now. This is a reflection of your power, of your strength as well. I'm just here to remind you of this, okay? You are pure light. You don't have to react with fear. You don't have to be tied down to your biology. Rise up, inspire others by loving them, by nurturing them, by forgiving where others are fighting back. You can forgive. That doesn't mean that you will be a doormat, okay? No, that means that where the tower was cracked, you are able to place a foundation, a brick of love, a foundation of love. You are able to just pour honey in between the cracks. I love you guys. This is unbelievable. This is such a beautiful reading. I hope it resonates with you. So remember, your cup is overflowing all the time. You are more powerful than you imagine. Entering the forest to you is a journey into making the dark shine brightly. You are the sun, okay? You are the sun. You have nothing to be afraid of but fear itself. All you have to do is enter into a situation, enter into a relationship, enter into a new job, enter into the forest, and you're lighting things up. Just be careful and don't spike out. Don't pull the plug on things before you allow them to unfold. Hold course, okay? As you're learning to navigate yourself with this torch that represents your heart, as you're going through the forest, on your spiritual path, try not to spike out. Resist the urge to fight back. Resist the urge to spike out. Understand that if people challenge you, this is just to remind you that you need to shine even brighter. You need to forgive. You need to love even stronger. Nothing can break you down. You are the sun. The only thing that can break you down is your own mind. Is trying to build a wall around your heart again. It's trying to trap yourself in fearful thoughts and close the light around you. And when you do so, everything around you dies. Because as I said, if you try to lock in the light of the sun, the whole galaxy dies away with it. So don't do that. I know, God, no big deal, Lexi, right? But don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Just be the sun. Be the sun. We need the sun more than ever. In spite of the fact that our planet is becoming warmer, there is a global warming, but we need the sun. Things need to continue to grow. We just need to learn to understand how to navigate this amazing, warm, bright light that you emit. And that's your spiritual lesson in this lifetime. You are the sun. You are pure love. Whatever has happened to you in the past was just meant to help you awaken yourself to understanding what empathy is, what mindfulness is, what emotions are. And now that you have matured, because I have a feeling I'm speaking to you on a position where you have been through a couple of lessons, that's why you're here. We're drawn to this video for a reason. Just share it with the world. Share this loving kindness with others, okay? Nurture them. Your light, giving light to other people, helps them give light to another person, helps the other person give life to another person, and so on and so forth. A kind word, a kiss, a helpful message, an encouraging tone in a situation where a person has only heard criticism all their lives. A penny or a dime exchanged at the right moment. All of these things are ways in which you can shine your light brightly. Can be in any way, not just financial, not just emotional, not just physical, all of them at various different levels. You are the sun, hard to contain. Pile number 1, it was a pleasure for me to deliver this message for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are interested in kind of like staying a bit on my channel, have a look at all the other pick a card readings I created. There will be plenty more coming your way. Have a look in my description box below, plenty of goodies there. Yeah, I just love you guys. I hope this message inspired you. Feel free to come back and watch it how many times you need some sort of encouragement, okay? I send you all my love. Bye, Pile 1. Hi, Pile 2. This is for those of you that were drawn to the star. This is your reading. So let's uncover what your spiritual story in this lifetime is. I feel like I'm taking a breath. I feel like you guys are tired. You guys have been through a lot. There's a reason why you were drawn to the star, so let's uncover that reason. It's also very interesting how I'm filming this at a time of the day when the sun is just filtering through my drapes and it's making this tattoo on my face. It's almost as if like a sunlight tattoo on my face, right? I take this as an indication that there is something that happened that left deep scars within you. Deep, deep, deep scars within you. But it's almost as if, you know, this tattoo will disappear. Nobody can see it. It's invisible to a certain extent. It only comes up during certain moments. Potentially during certain times of the day. Okay, so I pulled some cards from the Mariel Tarot. Now I'm going to pull some cards from the Santa Muerte Tarot. Okay. Wow. Instant. Oh my god, you have so many cards. I'm just going to pull the first... No, pull all of them. Okay, that means we don't need any clarifications. And then I'm gonna pull one card from the Animal Spirit Oracle just to give me an indication. What is an additional message and what might be an animal spirit? Perfect. Okay, let me show you the cards that fell out for you. You got a lot, so let's talk about this. The 8 of Discs. This is the 8 of Pentacles. The 3 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, so first synchronicity, 8-8, significant angel number, 9 of Cups, and then from the Santa Muerte Tarot, you got the Hanged Man, the Ace of Cups. You got so many cards alike, pile number 1. So feel free to go and have a look at that. Oh my god, yeah, exactly. The Tower. Have a look at... Sorry. No, wait. It's like this. Ah, this card. I just got this deck and it kind of reminds me of an Escher drawing. Things seeming one way and actually being confused about things. Okay, this is already sending me an interesting message. Okay, you had the 7 of Wands as well. Bear with me, you got a lot of cards. Then you have the 5 of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands. It's like, ole! And finally, your Animal Spirit Oracle is the Sandpiper Spirit. Be playful. Number 51 adds up to a 6. So the first synchronicity that I saw here is 8-8. Okay. Go and watch pile number 1 as well. There's an additional message for you there because you have 3 cards in common with pile number 1. However, I do feel that the message here is slightly different. So what is your spiritual journey in this lifetime? You're doing a lot of karmic cleansing. I feel like if you chose this pile, you are one of those people. I don't know if you had a past life reading with me, but I feel like you've had either a lot of past lifetimes which charged you up karmically very strongly, or let me put the camera like here, or you had a couple of past lifetimes, but they were heavy. There were very big themes there of unfulfillment, of loss, of rejection, of not really being able to settle, have a stable foundation, have that kind of loving family or supportive, nurturing environment. Yeah, so I feel like in this current lifetime, exactly with the light tattoo on my face as I'm doing this reading for you, you have a lot of energetic imprints that you're bringing forward from previous lifetimes. And this lifetime wants you to engage in a spiritual journey to cleanse the karma. You are meant to light up, not as pile number 1 had to light up for other people, but you are meant to light up from within and cleanse your aura, cleanse your chakras, pour heavy new energy into yourself that would displace whatever hurt and loss you're bringing from another lifetime. Heavy, heavy, heavy. I do feel it. I feel the tiredness. I feel how tired you are. This is not an easy task. It's not an easy spiritual journey, but it can be one that can bring you a lot of fruits. So let's take these cards one by one. The ones that I'm immediately drawn to are these ones. So the 8-8, infinity, empowerment. 8-8 is like a Mobius strip, right? The energy is constantly self-replenishing, a constant source of energy. This is a cycle that you've been carrying for many lifetimes, but in this lifetime a sacrifice needs to be made. And it's so beautiful because I interpret this card, the 8 of Cups, as in spite of the fact that you are cloaked as a lion, inside you have the spirit of a child. So it could be that you had to grow up very quickly, prematurely, and it could be that you were not allowed to just fully express your child. So there are a lot of inner child wounding that happened. So you are meant to unleash this inner lamb. Exactly, as I'm thinking, your lifetime is a lot about going within to purge without, to kind of change the situation without. So I think that potentially you were born in a mindset of lack. You were surrounded initially in your childhood by people that rushed you a lot. There wasn't enough to eat, there weren't enough resources, your environment could have been limiting. There's kind of like a poverty mindset that was instilled in you. So you struggled, you found it very hard to find that self-confidence, to find and shift, shift the way you're thinking from a poverty mindset or a lack mindset to a prosperity and abundance mindset. An idea that everything you have is enough, because it's almost like it was drilled into you that you are not enough, that the environment is not enough, that there isn't enough money, that there isn't enough food, there aren't enough resources for your education, okay, for you to travel, for you to expand your mind. But all that time, the riches were within you and you had enough. Imagine, you were able to breathe, you were able to drink water, you were able to see the sun, you were able to walk around in nature. All these things that during this quarantine period, a lot of us are restricted from. You had these, and we continue to have these. So there was enough. It was just the mindset that you grew up in, the mindset where you were brought up, maybe your culture, religion, education, parents drilled in you the idea that there is never enough. And there was a lot. And I do think that you could be attracting a lot of opportunities. I feel like opportunities flow towards you. But it's almost as if you are worried about, how am I going to handle abundance? How am I going to experience joy? I don't know what to do with it. What do you do when you feel a lot of joy? What do you do when you have a lot of money? How do you handle your energy when you have a lot of friends and they all want something from you? They all want to go out. They want to talk to you. How do you handle these things? It's almost as if you're finding it hard to find the inner resources to deal with abundance, to deal with prosperity, because you are more comfortable with limiting circumstances, with controlling circumstances. So your spiritual journey in this lifetime is to try to get away from the self-imposed limitation, from keeping yourself tied up by a leg or by a foot to a tree, seeing the world upside down, hanging and just lollying around. And the self-imposed kind of, no, I don't deserve more. I'm okay with little. I'm okay. I can handle, I can manage, I can control little. No. Hanuman, okay? Hanuman, the divine monkey spirit, the playful monkey spirit, is here to remind you that you are not just dark, you are light as well. You can combine both of them and you can move. You can definitely improve your social circumstances, your social class, your education. You can grow your finances, you can grow your family, you can grow your network of friends. But you have to start getting out of your comfort zone. And your comfort zone, paradoxically, it's not a beautiful place. Your comfort zone is not a place that feels great. Your comfort zone is limiting. Your comfort zone is chucking a couple of beers at the end of the day, working a meaningless job just because that feels safe, crushing your soul, accepting situations that crush your soul because you're too afraid to expand. And Hanuman is here going like, expand, grow, take a risk being happy, risk having more. It will not be taken away from you. You will learn how to handle it. You will learn as you're doing. You will learn along the way. You don't need to know everything beforehand. You don't need to have been born with a lot of wealth to understand how to manage it. You can acquire it, and as you acquire it, you make mistakes, you learn, and you correct them, and you move on, and you improve, and you grow, and you master it. No longer must you crush your spirit. A tower moment had to happen in your life to wake you up. Potentially you lost money, potentially you lost an opportunity, or a person left you, and you found yourself in that dark space again where you felt comfortable. But spirit wants to push you forward. You have the forest here. You carry the forest within you. You are basically born in the deep dark underbelly of the forest, and you decided, instead of walking through it and exploring the forest, you decided to build yourself a cave underground and not to come out. It's protective, but it's limiting, and it's stunting your growth and your life force. That's why you feel so tired, my dear. You need to rise up. Get out of the cave. Get out of the cave. Enough with the victim mentality, enough with the persecution, enough with feeling as if little is good for me. You can risk thinking bigger, thinking larger. Study the sign of Sagittarius. Study their risk-taking, bold, badass way of being. The faith that they put into the world, that everything is going to be okay. It's just going to be, I have a feeling that things are just going to work out for me. And they do. Partially because they're ridiculously lucky, but also partially because of the faith that they put into the world. So optimism, prosperity mindset, there is always enough. There is more than enough. I have more than enough. Remind yourself that by following this metaphor of you living in a cave in the ground, Remind yourself that you're part of a forest. You're not just a cave-dwelling creature. Au contraire. You are a bird spirit. Look at this. The sandpiper spirit came up for you, and this is about being playful. The best ways in which we can manifest is if we relax and get into an optimistic mindset. And from then on, we can build. From then on, we can start to manifest. I feel like it's like, do you see all of these hearts, the hearts and the flower patterns that are being made on my face right now? If you're watching this, if you're not just listening to it with headphones, you are here to experience a lot of abundance, but you definitely need to learn to allow yourself to accept the abundance. It's a similar message to pile number 1, but this is more about giving to yourself rather than giving to other people. Your soul is struggling to clear up karma. That's why you're feeling heavy. But there's nobody here that says that as you're clearing this karma, you can't also enjoy life. You can't participate in this great adventure called life. Full of mystery, full of unexpected things, but that doesn't mean that the unexpected has to harm us. The unexpected is scary because it has many potentialities within it, but those potentialities don't always have to be negative. If there are situations where you feel as if something is crumbling, our instinctive reaction, and I'm sure your reaction is, oh my God, what am I gonna do? You know? Oh no, people are gonna harm me, people are gonna take away from me. But that's only if you think that the world is a horrible place full of horrible people and horrible acts. So again, perspective shift. If you think that the place in which you live, that the world at large is a collection of a lot of people that are, they go through ups and downs. They are kind most of the time. They are optimistic most of the time. They are helpful most of the time. If you just reach out and tell them what you need, people are going to help you. If you believe that people are inherently good, if you believe that there is enough in this world, tower moments are going to feel like a plunge into a new adventure, not as a destructive, plutonic, demonic thing that happened to you to hurt you. Does that make sense? So being playful, okay? Being playful, trusting that people are inherently good rather than inherently bad. Understanding that the situations when people are evil are overcome and outweighed by all the good that is being done in the world. And have a look at history. We've been through horrible wars. We've been through genocides. And we survived because kindness, goodness, it's a natural thing within ourselves. We struggle, we strive towards it. Whether we like it or not, no matter how evil we want to be, light always wins. And if you heard the motorcycle on the background, that's confirmation from Spirit that this is a message close to the truth. So shifting your perspective, having hope. You were drawn to the star because the star is the most hopeful card in the tarot deck. It appears after the tower. When things crumble, new light can emerge from them. It doesn't have to be terrible things that happen. But if you choose to, instead of following the waters of your heart, instead of going with the flow and allowing life to surprise you, allowing life to bless you, allowing life to bring up this beautiful child that's been hiding under the cloak of a lion all this time. If you don't allow life to do that, you'll just be sequestered. You'll just be sequestered into this dog-eat-dog kind of world. Me against the world, me having to fight, me having to hide. They're out to get me. They will be out to get you if this is what you imagine. What you seek seeks you. So seek love, seek optimism, seek hope. You need these things in your life. You could be having bad dreams. You could be overcome by bad feelings. You could feel the need to lash out and speak in anger. Yes, We all do. We all do. And especially you, because you have all this karma that you bring from another lifetime. But sacrifice your desire to feel that the world is evil and replace it with an understanding that we're all just trying to get by as best as we can, and that if you genuinely need help and you reach out, people will help you. But you have to come from a place of kindness and goodness yourself in order to receive it from others in the world. Okay? That's super important. This is your spiritual lesson in this lifetime. Coming out of the cave of persecution, understanding that you're part of a forest that is stable, that is always there for you, has always been around you, sheltering you from storms, covering you from the rain. Coming out of your cave to explore the forest, to see that potentially the forest ends eventually, and you find yourself in a field of sunflowers. To enjoy life, to have a fresh, new emotional beginning. The Ace of Cups, your cup is overflowing. Even the skeleton has googly eyes made of hearts. Yeah. It's super, super important for you, my lovely pile number 2, to be playful, to allow that inner child to drop the cloak of heaviness, of arguments, of fighting, of pridefulness and ego. Be playful, have fun, enjoy things. After each tower moment comes the star. And if you don't believe me, check the numbers, right? Three of Cups, celebration. The stream that divides itself into 3 different branches, into 3 different rivers. You always can take something in this world and make it into something even bigger. 2 people that become 3, that become 4, that become 5. Why? Because they love each other. Grains that become bread, thousands of breads that are spread all over the world. Waters that merge into others, water that merge into the ocean, and then the circuit of steam rising from the ocean, creating rain, creating water again, so on and so forth. Everything is self-replenishing. Nothing is wasted. There is always more than enough. It's just a question of how we learn to think about the things that we have in our lives. If you wanted to, there will always be less. If you wanted to, there will always be more. It's just the way in which you think about your reality. So that is your spiritual lesson in this lifetime, pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed it. It was meant to come from my heart to yours with all my love. My beautiful stars, take really, really good care of yourself, okay? Feel free to stay on my channel, hang around, have a look at all the other pick a card readings I have created. You can find playlists on my front page. Also have a look in the description box below. I place lots of goodies for you guys there. And yeah, I send you all my love. Remember, be playful. Go ahead and do something playful right now, right after finishing watching this video. Something that just makes you feel happy. Feels good. Send you all my love. Bye, pile number 2. Hi, pile number 3. This is for those of you that were drawn to the High Priestess card. So let's find out what your spiritual journey is. It's really funny, but it's so bright outside at the moment, and through the window you can see kind of like light making this face tattoo pattern on me. It happened in pile number 2 as well, so there could be something there about the sun leaving imprints. I don't know. It made a lot of sense for pile number 2. I don't know. I do feel that the piles are very, very connected, which kind of lets me know that I'm speaking to a particular group here, a particular soul found. Anyway, so I'll pull some cards from the Marielle Tarot. Let's see. Okay, wow. That came in very fast. Great. And for pile, I'll also draw from the Santa Muerte. So, spiritual path for pile number 3. Wow, Wow, double confirmation. This is unbelievable. Okay, and I want some clarification. I'll use the sun and moon for clarification. What is this about? I got the Fool twice for you. The Fool. Interesting. Okay. And finally, I'm pulling a card from the Animal Spirit Oracle just to give me an indication, you know, what is potentially a protective animal spirit? What is an additional message for the overall journey, your spiritual journey in this lifetime? Come on, for pile number 3. Thank you. Okay. So, my dear High Priestess group, let me show you the cards you got. You got the Fool, the 10 of Cups, the Fool again from a different deck, the King of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Princess of Pentacles as a confirmation. And finally, we have the Wasp Spirit. It's number 64. Sometimes life stings. I kind of tripped over Wasp Spirit, right? It's also kind of hard to pronounce, but it's S. Snake. Okay, hear me out. Your spiritual journey in this lifetime, as you enter the forest, right, is to take a leap of faith into establishing a loving relationship with someone. This could be my Saturn and Scorpio group. I think that the hardest thing for you in this life could be the idea that you can share your resources with another person. That you would wake up every day and see the same person day and night for the rest of your life. That you will have to spend a lot of your time, your holidays potentially, with this person, that you'll need to compromise, that you'll need to make decisions that will have to include this person as well. But this is your life path. This is your spiritual journey. You are meant to spiritualize yourself, to grow and learn and develop through interacting deeply with one person in this lifetime, your soulmate. You are meant to establish a deeply prosperous, intimate union with this person. We have here the Fool and the 10 of Cups. Jumping forward, taking the leap of faith. Meeting this person will feel like love at first sight. You will feel such a strong pull towards this person. But you might be cautious. You could have been brought up in a very feisty, intellectually strong, argumentative family. A family that taught you how to be independent, never rely on anyone, hold on to your money, hold on to your education, and you aced those lessons. And as you grew into your maturity, potentially around your Saturn return, bam, you are about to meet, or you've already met, someone that made you weak in the knees. It made you stupid. You, the super intelligent, argumentative person that had everything under control, all of a sudden you meet this person, when you look at them, you can't think. They are that attractive to you and that meaningful to you. And you feel like your heart is racing a mile a minute every time they look at you or they open their mouth to talk to you. You are in love, and it was love at first sight, or it will be love at first sight if you're younger watching this. And then the interesting spiritual journey begins. Because of the fact that you were brought up in a particular way, because of your education, because of your training, you might feel like you need to push this person away. But it's your spiritual path to just kind of like jump on the horse and hold the saddle. Even if the horse is a beautiful creature, but riding the horse might scare you. Does that metaphor apply? I don't know. I'm just trying to find metaphors to help you understand how this spiritual path is playing out for you. The forest to you is the day of your wedding. Entering the forest basically means committing life term to this person that you will fall head over heels in love with. And I know that a lot of you are like, oh, but that's what I've wanted all my life. Yeah, that's okay, great. But a true commitment, a true deeply felt intimate relationship requires so much effort and so much patience. It's not all about the honeymoon. It's not all about the kisses. It's not all about having that person by your side. It's about making tough decisions involving that person. Decisions that influence your life for the better or worse and affect their life as well for the better or worse. But you are meant to experience this. This is your spiritual path. Your spiritual path is connected to union with another person. If you resist getting into a deeply felt commitment with somebody that you just know is your person, if you self-sabotage this love, you are basically denying yourself your spiritual growth, your spiritual lessons. What was I saying about the horse, right? This is a flaming horse of passion, and the mother and the child have jumped on it. You are supposed to experience all the beautiful highs, the ecstatic highs of a deeply passionate love affairs, but also all the tempestuous lows, all those difficult moments of yearning, of being separated from that person. Sometimes life stings, yeah? But that doesn't mean that you can't continue flying around. What I mean by flying around, I don't mean that you can jump from flower to flower. This isn't a butterfly, it's a wasp. This is about knowing your target and going towards it uncompromisingly. Knowing your person and committing to them 200%. And you will know that as you are committing to this person, as you're growing with this person, you will know that you are fulfilling your spiritual path. So this relationship requires a bold leap of faith. You have to fool twice here, yeah? Bold leap of faith from you. Jumping in this situation and saying, yes, I'm here for you. I'll defend you, I'll protect you, I have your back. This person will do the same. There is a reciprocity here. There is deep, deep love here. You have the Lover's card. The Lover's card is about union. First you achieve union within yourself, and then you achieve union with another person. And I think you were given all the necessary tools at the beginning of your life to achieve this union with yourself. That's why you grew to be independent. That's why you grew to be financially stable on your own. But now, the spiritual life path that your soul wants to grow into is renouncing that independence for a relationship that will teach you a lot about mutual sharing, about what intimacy basically is, about how you sometimes have to give in to be given something in return, not demanding it, but by just simply loving the other person, wanting their best interest, keeping their best interest at heart, and sacrificing whatever needs you might have in terms of quick ego fulfillment. So let's say, for example, you're a person that enjoys many, many different types of people, and you fantasize about how would it be to have sex with different people. You'll have to give that up. And there will be moments in your situation where you will feel After the initial love, after the initial honeymoon period, you might feel tempted to think about, what would it be if I had sex with someone else? But the whole point is that you need to renounce that ego desire. You are meant to be in a situation with this person and not fuck it up. Not because you will hurt the other person, but because you're going to compromise your own spiritual growth. Does that make sense? So your love connection is going to get you into this deeply high priestess mode, where you spiritualize your life by having acquired a lot of things on your own, and then you're pouring all of this knowledge into a relationship, and you're growing together with another person. You allow another person to help you, to share things with you, to give to you, to teach you, sometimes to admonish you, or to tell you, hey, your shadow self is coming over. So it's all about this give and take, but in turn you can do the same. You can help this person understand their shadow self. You can share your resources with this person. You can share your knowledge, your experiences, your network of friends, your family, everything that you have acquired so far. You can share them with this person, and this person is going to do the same to you. But it's all about understanding this equal give and take, and understanding that in order to have it all, you need to let go of the ego that you've acquired up until a certain point in your life on your own. So if you learned very well and if you mastered what it means to be independent, now it's time to just give into a situation with a person that will be long term. Princess of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Allowing this person to impregnate you, or having a baby with this person. Allowing this person to, having mutual shared accounts or finances. Allowing this person to know the pin to your cards, things like that. That is about a lot of trust. A lot of trust. And, the more trust we put into the world, the more we risk our hearts. And I feel some pain in my belly. I feel like sacral chakra work needs to be done, because it's kind of like, as I'm saying these words, I feel like how you might cringe or constrict yourself. It's like, I want love, but then, oh, really? Do I have to do all these things? Yeah. It's part of your spiritual life path. Spiritual stories are deeply replenishing, but they don't necessarily always have to be easy. But you will have a very beautiful story, because your story is a lot about this romantic sexual love that a lot of us are craving. And you will meet this person 100%. It's part of your life's development. But it's all about how you decide to manage it long term. Pentacles energy. The King of Pentacles is the most stable, materially wealthy, financially, robust. And the Princess of Pentacles is the one that can create this environment where resources are always enough, where things multiply, where investments grow. And not only that, but life in general can grow. It's a lot about self-worth, having the confidence to jump straight into this union, having the confidence to stay in it no matter how hard it becomes at times. Understanding how you can have arguments but then still kiss and make up. Understanding that sometimes, in order to help your relationship, you might need to allow your partner to relocate for work, and you might need to follow them, or you might need to study or do something else to improve your situation. Potentially, you might need to reach moments when your shadow work becomes so dense and memories from the past might resurface to such an extent that they might alienate you. So you might need to appeal to some sort of form of counseling. This is all about maintaining this union throughout your life and achieving that happily ever after through your own spiritual growth, through your own working on yourself, becoming aware of, as I said, what you give and what you take, what is conscious and what is unconscious, how you allow your partner to be themselves and how your partner allows you to be yourself. How much are you giving? How much are you trusting? This is all super, super, super important. I feel like you need to pause there. So try to tame incoming distractions. Your spiritual path in this life is about coming into union with another person. 1010 is a really significant number for you. I see it here, 6 plus 4 is a 10. Then we have the 10 of cups. I feel like some of you might have air placements. You could have a south node in Aries or a south node in Scorpio. And you're basically asked to be loving, to build abundance, to connect deeply with someone. And it might be a challenge to you. See, I'm making a lot of breaks. It's kind of like my attention is slightly distracted from time to time. And I'm making a lot of breaks because I feel as if you would like to have the love, but without the difficult aspects that maintaining a long-term relationship might involve. But I mean, at the end of it, you will have a partner, you will have your sweetheart, you will be like those couple of people that, you know, like in old age, and they still like hold hands and they still laugh at things together and they spend a lot of time together and they don't find it boring, you know. You can definitely have this. This is your life purpose, this is your spiritual path, to connect deeply with someone and to have this beautiful union. But it's all up to you, how brave you are to say yes to this, to jump into this, to work at this. And it's not going to be only work, don't worry. I mean, this is a lot about abundance, Princess of Pentacles, like walking in a garden. And it's gorgeous to have this influence, to have the lovers, to have this union. Practicing yoga can really help you because yoga basically means union. So learning how to connect first with some higher force above you as you're meditating, as you're moving your body, as you're focusing on your breath, and then learning how to connect with a partner beyond the thrill of the first butterflies in the stomach and your first orgasms and everything is peachy and lovely. Beyond that, going even deeper to that moment when you realize that no matter how tough it becomes, I'm still by your side. I'm still committed, that I still want to make this work. That's true deep intimacy. That's true deep union. And that's the key to this beautiful heart. So that's what happens to you. When you enter the forest, it's almost as if you enter the doors of of a church during your wedding day. You're meant to grow with your King of Pentacles, become the Princess of Pentacles. Love. Love beyond what you thought was imaginable. In a deeply stable romantic connection. That's your spiritual pathway. That's what I see for you. My beautiful pile number 3 High Priestess group. I hope this helped. Feel free to, spend some time on my channel, have a look at all the other pickacard readings I created. There are playlists on my front page. Have a look in my description box below as well. There are many, many goodies there. I hope this message helped you, inspired you. Maybe it resonated, maybe it brought up some things that you already knew about you. Let me know down in the comments. I wish you guys a lovely, lovely rest of the day and a gorgeous spiritual growth or spiritual development, okay? Send you all my love. Bye, guys. Hi, Pile 4. This is for those of you that were drawn to the Hierophant, okay? So let's uncover what your spiritual life path is in this current lifetime. What is your story? What is the spiritual lesson that you need to master? What are you here for, basically? I'm gonna pull some cards from the Mariel Tarot. I shuffle live for you guys, okay? So, whoa, okay. Very quickly they just popped out. Great. So now I'm gonna shuffle some cards from the Santa Muerte Tarot. Ooh. Again, one very quick. Okay, I'm taking them all, so I don't need any clarifiers for you guys. This is excellent. And finally, I'm going to pull a card from the Animal Spirit Oracle to try to find out what is your kind of spirit animal or what additional messages we need to know. Just kind of like the overarching message of your life path, your spiritual path. Great, bad spirit. Show you the cards in a second. So, you got the King of Swords, the Devil. He seems so sad, so purple and so sad. Then we have the Four of Swords. We have the Bat Spirit. A rebirth is assured, definitely with the Devil there. And from the Santa Muerte Tarot, you got the Chariot. A lot of major arcanas. The King of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the Three of Cups. Oh, child. Why are you here? To fight. Okay, good. Reading is over. Feel free to move away. I feel like I need to infuse this particular reading for you guys with some sort of humor because this is hard. This is hardcore. It's a lot about dynamism and movement, and you are supposed to learn a lot of lessons from men in this lifetime. If you are a man, this is a lot about you coming to terms with masculinity, with traditional masculinity, toxic masculinity, hyper masculinity, all forms of masculinity. There are so many out there. As a sociologist, trust me, send me an email, we can talk about that. But you are meant to come to terms with masculinity, with the divine masculine archetype within yourself, within your psyche, but also to how masculinity is represented socially in a variety of different perspectives, as it varies across cultures, across social class. You are meant to come to terms with these understandings of masculinity. What is masculinity to you? What is healthy masculinity in this world? What are the valuable things about masculinity? What are the more negative things about being in your masculinity and embodying it? If you're a woman, this is about coming to terms with masculinity as well, but from the perspective of the other, right? So you coming into contact with masculinity, whether it was in more fortunate circumstances, a father that protected you, a lover that, you know, made love to you and woke you up to your femininity, so on and so forth, or whether it was about abuse and other situations, okay? So what is your understanding of masculinity? Usually it's associated with authority. A lot of the institutions in our social environment are made in the image of men. They function according to laws of reason, rationality, logic, and the worst thing you can do in a society at the moment is be stupid, apparently, or uneducated. So a lot of people are being controlled by being kept in a state of not being able to educate themselves or not having the resources to educate themselves. But I'm kind of feeling like I'm veering towards a more political aspect of your reading. Let's pull it back to your life path. I need to remind myself to do that. Okay, so you have here the Devil. This is the thing that concerns me. So I think that you will, you have a lot of karma in relation to men. So your spiritual life path is to meet men, have relations with them, whether sexual, institutional, parental, friendship level, or sisterly, brotherly kind of relationships, and to purge a lot of karma regarding masculinity. So to a very brief, how should I say, the essence of masculinity more or less is a focus on action. It's a focus on doing, right? So it's almost as if femininity is described as this more passive energy, this more receptive energy, allowing energy, while masculinity has been defined for centuries as this more active, you know, pushing towards, kind of like the hunter kind of mentality, right? So it's a lot about doing, right? So how confident are you with your capacity to do, to achieve, to compete, to argue, to fight for what is yours, to stand up, you know? It's kind of like that, you know, that confrontational stance that a lot of men adopt, where they puff their chests in front of each other, you know, and they duel each other, and they kind of fight each other over people, resources, land, glory, yeah? So there is a lot here about that. How are you embodying this energy? This is your spiritual life path, to try to understand what represents and what makes the divine masculine. What is so attractive about the divine essence of masculinity? What is so repelling? What puts you off about men? What kind of draws you in about men? What do you respect about men? What do you hate about men? Let me put it very basically, you know, very clearly. You are meant to have arguments with men. You are meant to come into clashes of ego with men, because I feel that a poorly integrated sense of your own masculinity will attract in your life either a man that wants to dominate you because you're too low on how you adopt your masculinity, or if you identify with masculinity too highly, you will clash violently with another person, because it's almost with another man, because it's almost as if your masculinity is challenging their masculinity, even if you're a woman. Okay, does that make sense? So your capacity to dominate, your authority, your skill at doing things comes into clash with their skill, their capacity to dominate, their authority, if you're too high on the masculinity thing. Okay, if you're too low and you're too much in your femininity and you don't own masculinity within yourself, you will just allow the other person to overtake you. They do everything for you. They make all the decisions. They tell you how much money you should spend, what to eat, what to dress. You know, everything is about them, not about you, because it's almost like you're not owning that masculine essence within yourself. I hope this makes sense, yeah? So it's a way, your spiritual path, entering the forest, means you needing to face your masculinity, you coming to terms with what masculinity means. How can you be more masculine? How can you be less masculine? How have you been put into this masculine energy through life circumstances? If you were brought up in a monoparental family, so a family that has only one parent, right? And that parent was only the mother. Maybe you learned from your mother either to be ultra feminine and to expect men to do everything for you, or you learn the opposite, how to do everything for yourself, how to never allow a man to dominate you or to kind of share things with a person, with a man, because it's almost as if you can't trust them, you know? So this is a life path of, you know, coming to terms with your desire to do a lot or to do nothing. I feel that I'm speaking here for two particular groups of you, one with a highly integrated masculine sense of self, and others that are rejecting it completely. They have nothing to do with it. They are ultra feminine, but there's also an imbalance there, because it's like femininity and masculinity, when they are balanced, they enhance each other. A very well integrated feminine and masculine personality would play out in the following way. You're able to be nurturing, but also stand up for yourself. You're able to be well educated, but you're also able to forgive and forget. You're able to share resources, but you're also able to say, well, my boundaries are drawn over here. Okay, so this is how a well functioning kind of balancing or balanced ego would play out in the world. If you don't have this well integrated, you run the risk of being too manly and therefore risk confrontations with other men on the same level at which they confront other men. So they almost like they see you as another man, because you're so high on your masculinity and you've repressed your femininity so strongly that you are like thinking like a man, feeling like a man, acting like a man. And if you encounter a lot of conflict from other men, it's because it's like you function from a code of masculinity, if that makes sense. Like, you know how men like to one up each other, compete with one another, want to throw each other down from time to time, you know? So that's why, if you're wondering why men treat you like that, that's why. Too high on your masculine energy, and you repressed your femininity too much, so they see you as one of them. Or the opposite, you are ultra feminine, you repress your masculinity to such an extent that you become a doormat, you're a sweetheart, you're super forgiving, you're super nurturing. You know, you treat your boyfriend with blowjobs upon blowjobs, but you've never experienced an orgasm. You never stood up for yourself. You're allowing that person to acquire debt, and you are not living a very well balanced life. You are not willing to tell your lover what you want, what you need. Not willing to you know, set him straight if he overstepped. So he might cheat on you a lot of times because he just knows that he can do that. You know, it's like you're never gonna get angry on him. So it's really, really important to own your masculinity, yeah, for those particular reasons, yeah. In one scenario, to reduce the conflict and to go deeper into your femininity, thereby nurturing yourself. And in one scenario, to stand up for yourself, to remove yourself from abusive situations where enough is enough, you know? You can't just allow a person to walk over you. The Chariot, moving forward, full speed ahead, yeah? And I'm making this movement, it's kind of like I'm sending you empowering energy. Celebrating afterwards, celebrating this. It's almost as if you have to come into union with yourself. And I think there is a reason why you actually were drawn to the Hierophant, because the Hierophant is a priest, basically. Hierophant is a very fancy word of saying priest. And it's about that spiritual essence of masculinity. It's not the Emperor, which is all about deeply established, ultra-traditional masculinity, right? The power of muscle, the power of logic, the kind of unemotional war strategist, right? The provider. This is about being in tune with your divine masculine, right? So this is about owning this essence of balancing the doing with the being, passivity with activity, stillness and receptivity with action and shining forth confidently, confidence with doubt, yeah, the moon and the sun, yeah. So it's about balancing those dual sides. And that's where the devil energy could come in, where there's too much ego. The devil is basically about ego. It's about a focus on the material, so much so that you forget that you are a being with feelings, that you are a being that needs love, nurturing, rest, that can trust. This is all about I'm doing everything by myself. I've locked myself in a fortress of my own power, and I get to control and dominate whoever I want. I'm chaining people to myself through emotional manipulation. This is the devil. It's not a monster underneath your bed. The devil is ego, pure human ego, the understanding that you're all by yourself. You are not supported by spirit in any way, and you have to do everything by yourself. And that's where the hard spiritual lessons come in, because spirit has a plan. Even if our free will and our human ego has one plan, spirit has another plan for us, and it wants to open our hearts over and over and over again, because we are beings of the light, not of the dark. So the Eight of Swords is about stop lying to yourself. Understand who you really are. Understand who you really are. You don't have to play act anymore. You don't have to hold a false sense of self. The devil is also maintaining an image that was imposed upon you. Bring yourself back into the world. Bring yourself, if your mother gave birth to you biologically, bring yourself anew into the world psychologically. You have the capacity to do so. Obviously, you can get help from other people, from tarot readers, astrologers, counselors, you know, life coach, all sorts of people. There are a variety of services in the world out there to help you get in touch with who you really are, truly, authentically, not who other people want you to be. Yeah, this image that you've created only to acquire certain things, because maybe then people will love you, maybe then people will accept you. And the more you push yourself towards that direction, the less the outcome that you want is assured. There is a world of conflict here. If you keep verging between those two scenarios of poorly integrated masculine values, a world of conflict. Stasis, Four of Swords, King of Swords. Is it the king? Yeah, the king. Sorry, for a second I thought it was the knight. But the king of swords, world completely where you're blocked in your mind. The chariot as well. I don't know why. They're usually not difficult cards, but in this combination I do feel that this is all about being trapped in your mind, being trapped in your ego and your mind, and being afraid, because the ego is about fear. You're like cloaking yourself in fear and darkness when you don't have to. If you work at integrating that masculinity, you can have fun with life. You can be strong and be vulnerable at the same time. So exercise on integrating that masculinity. Whether it's too high, bring it a little bit down from its high horse. Whether it's too low, just fully embody that, okay? You can do it. If I was able to do it, anyone can do it. It's a life lesson, okay? So it's not gonna come about overnight, but I do think it's really important to connect with your feelings. So get angry when you have to get angry in order to embody that lack of masculinity in your life, within yourself, or celebrate, relax, rest a bit more in order to tone it down. If you've been too high, too pushing into, that alpha type, overachieving at everything, rest, relax, okay? Have a glass of wine, put your feet up, bring it back down, okay? Celebrate, delegate as well. Give, share from your successes with other people. Teach others. That's another way in which successful masculinity, this kind of divine masculine sense, can be integrated by teaching others how to be powerful, how to be independent, how to be self-sufficient. Yeah? So, come out of the cave. I feel like this message I've given for pile number 2 or 3? 3, I think. Come out of the cave of persecution, okay? All you have to do is make a decision to change. Now you know that the life lesson is regarding your masculinity and your sense of self. So this deep, as I said, not masculinity in the sense of brains and bras images in magazines, but about what does masculinity mean to you as a value? How do you let it define you? How do you let it control your life? How do you push it away? How do you reject it? How do you integrate it in your daily, everyday living? Working through these aspects is gonna help you, and this is your life path. This is your spiritual path, yeah? Coming to terms with the divine masculine and integrating it within yourself. Okay, pile number 4. I feel like I should stop here. This was for my lovely Hierophant crew. I hope this helped. I hope it encouraged you. I hope it gave you some, food for thought. If not, if it did not resonate, feel free to check any of the other piles. I have 6 of them, okay? Also, feel free to hang around on my channel. Have a look at all my other pickacard readings. I have this face tattoo from the sunlight, but what can I do? It's just the type of day it is. It's super sunny outside. And yeah, have a look in my description box. Lots of goodies there for you. And I just want to say I thank you so much for being here, for listening to this, and for keep coming back. I love you guys. Just as simple as that. Wish you a lovely rest of the day. Bye. Hey, pile number 5. This is for those of you that were drawn to the Empress. I'm super happy to have you here. Let's see what your spiritual life path is in this lifetime. So what are some of the spiritual lessons? What are some of the challenges that you might need to overcome? What are some of the rewards? I'm going to pull some cards from the Mariel Tarot. Let's see. Okay, for pile number 5, what is their spiritual lesson? What is the spiritual life path? Oh, wow. Oof, a lot of cards. I'm just going to pull the one that came on top. Okay, so now I'm going to pull some cards from the Santa Muerte Tarot. Pile 5. What is the spiritual life path? Good. And I will pull some cards right now from the Animal Spirit Oracle. I just want to feel what your animal spirit might be. We had some really interesting animal spirits in the other piles. Feel free to go and have a look. Whoa, you got the best one so far today. Wow. It's actually the one that decorates this deck. So, Stag Spirit. Gorgeous. Okay, so let me show you all the cards that fell out. You have the Seven of Wands. I'm so drawn to the fact that you have two white animals. This is such an important message from Spirit that you're protected, okay? So let's move on. So you have Seven of Swords. Sorry, Seven of Wands. Why did I say Seven of Swords? You have Five of Swords. Okay, so not only the two animals about protection, but I feel like Seven of Wands was the one I had in my hand. Seven of Swords was the one I channeled. 7-7 is a really important angel number for you, okay? I think it appeared in pile 1 or 2. Have a look around, explore. But I think 7-7 is a really important angel number for you. Okay, so Seven of Wands, Five of Swords. I love this card. The meaning is so specific. I'm gonna let you know in a second. And again, white owls. Oh my god. All of the animals are white. This is so specific. Then we have the Lovers. The Lovers. And you see, the Divine Masculine is covered in white as well. White is so significant to you. Then we have Eight Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. Four of Swords. Very similar to the Hierophant pile. And Two of Cups. So you got two of the best cards in the deck. You got the Lovers and the Two of Cups. And you have here three specific animals that are white. Do you see? So the Stag Spirit is also letting me know that you need to take the lead in this lifetime. So interesting. You might resonate with the Hierophant, the message from the Hierophant, because it was a lot about what masculinity means to them and how they can integrate it. But for you, okay, the story is a little bit different. I think it's a combination of pile 3 and pile 4. Pile 5, okay, how do I describe this? Because it's a bit complicated. You are meant to achieve union with a person in this lifetime. And I'm trying to figure out if your spiritual life path is you are meant to renounce it, or you have renounced it in a previous lifetime and you came into this incarnation to build it up again. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is my twin flame pile. Hello. So this is why all the white animals, this is why the 7-7, 4-4-4, 7-7 is usually the synchronicities that a lot of people that are in twin flame relationships see them everywhere. There are cycles here. Your spiritual life path is union with your twin flame. That's basically very clear. A lot of people have heard the story. There are cycles here where you have to meet this person, you have to connect with them deeply, and then something happens, a wound is opened, something is triggered within both of you, and you have to let each other go. So it's about union, letting go, union, triggering wound, letting go of each other, coming into union, triggering the wound, and letting go of each other to heal. To heal, to learn something new, to grow through other relationships, to inspire other people. This is not a selfish kind of love. This is not about building your life with your soulmate as it happened for, I think, pile number 3. This is about your spiritual growth is meant to help other people learn about love and self-respect and self-worth. To a certain extent, this is a very beautiful, beautiful spiritual path, because once you meet your twin flame, once you come into that initial union, right? Once you have this moment where it's like, boom, oh my God, I found you. Who are you? What is happening? You're basically me, but in a different gender, you know, of a different gender and a different body, but you're me, and I feel this pull towards you, almost as if I'm rediscovering my soul. That's how it feels when you meet your twin flame. Light and dark, two twins coming together. One could be evil, the other one could be good. One could have better life habits, the other one more into the bad habits. But the spiritual journey begins the moment you guys meet in the 3D, in reality. And you connect with this person and you can't stop thinking about them. You think about them day and night. You feel their energy. You feel when they're thinking about you. You talk to them telepathically. They send you sexual energy from time to time. So even though you might be having sex with someone else and they might be having sex with someone else, it's about you are both basically having sex with each other because you are one person, if that makes sense. So your spiritual life path is to be led by spirit 100%. Watch out for animals, synchronicities, white owls, white dogs, white stags, white deers, white bears, although they are very rare. They mostly exist at the polar, in the polar landscape. Could be maybe plush toys, white plush toy bears, you know, all sorts of signs like this. I mean, you already know, if you're on a twin flame journey, you already know that animals bring you a lot of synchronicities. You meet animals. Animals feel attracted to you when union is coming. Doing yoga, following a spiritual life path, saying your prayers, sending white, beautiful light, doing protection rituals are enhancing your union, yeah? All of these things contribute to it, but it is a lot about strength and hard work, and it is a lot about resting and accepting yourself. And it's a lot about, you see how he's putting the nails in the coffin. It's about killing older versions of yourself, metaphorically, renouncing your ego, forgiving, growing, accepting parts of yourself, doing a lot of shadow work, inner child healing, frequent trips down memory lane, where you have to go back and patch and recreate and put light where there was once just darkness and fear. Why? Because you're triggered in the present. This relationship triggers you to heal past family wounds. I'm touching my head because I do feel a crown chakra activation heavily during your pile. I feel almost as if, you know, this light coming, connecting with the divine. I feel the love with you guys. I feel it. It's so strong, right? It's so strong. And also with the Eight of Pentacles here, you see it's like crown chakra activation. You see the, it's kind of like a blending of the logical mind, the cortex, yeah? The center of control, with the heart chakra, with the root chakra energy, all this green, all this red, combining, aligning yourself. Oh, and you're so supported by spirit. You're so helped. You're so kind of, all of your energy is channeling into this. All of the choices that you're making are helping you in this twin flame situation. No matter how much you try to pull away, you're brought back together. It's almost like in that Chinese finger trap. I keep using that metaphor, but I think that the Chinese finger trap is such a great metaphor for how being in a twin flame relationship feels like. The more you pull, the more stuck you are. The more you come together, the more you want to be together with each other. You work on your triggers, you work on your self-limiting beliefs, and you amp up your self-confidence. The fact that you are growing into the awareness that you are worthy of a divine kind of love in this lifetime. The more you come closer, the more you can free yourself from the finger trap. And I think hands are important here. Hands are significant. Healing energy being sent through your hands, almost like with Reiki, right? Basically, that's Reiki. It's like sending light, sending love through the hands. And you know why the palms are really significant? They are basically all the nerves and determinations send clear signals to our cortex, or to our mind. Okay, so this has the link between the palms and the brain has been scientifically proven. This is why Reiki can be so powerful. This is why touching can be so powerful, and why our hands are so significant. Direct signals to the brain, direct communication, touching, thinking. There is a reason why great writers wrote by hand, yeah? And now we type by hands. It's not the same feeling, but there is a reason. There is a direct link between your mind and your fingers, yeah? Also from a sexual perspective, there's a reason why fingering feels so good, right? Because it's stimulating more than just your nether regions. It's also like someone is having sex with your brain. Okay, so that's for the more brainy ones of you out there. Logical people usually enjoy fingering more than any other types of sexual things, you know. So yeah, again, connections. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but I think your hands are important. I think you might feel healing, warm, light, or you feel like your hands, maybe when you're doing tarot, if you're doing tarot, I think you might. People who are in twin flame connections start up usually their own tarot channels, because they need to give back. They need to find a way to give back, to heal people, to connect with them spiritually. So your hands are super significant, not only in shuffling cards and showing people cards, but also in touching others, healing, sending warm, bright light to them, okay? This is super significant. I want to show you these cards again because it's so beautiful. I want to show you this other card. So the Five of Swords speaks of a really important sacrifice. I don't know if you can see it here, but she's holding the hand of another man, it looks like, and a baby, but her soul is scarred. So this is about having to persevere in spite of setbacks. This is almost as if the burden of a single mother, you know, who has just given birth to a baby, which is a really tough physical ordeal. But then she has to take care of another baby as she's healing her body from the birth without any help from anyone else but spirit and but the kindness of other people around her, okay? So it's kind of that level of hard work. Physical regeneration, emotional regeneration, mental rewiring, you know, understanding life in a completely different perspective. This is your spiritual path. And this spiritual path has ignited or amplified or maximized when you met your twin flame. There is a reason why you are drawn to the Empress, my darling. You might identify with this archetype. You might want to embody this archetype, okay? I feel like I'm speaking primarily to divine feminines in this reading. You were drawn to the Empress because you are working through understanding how can you embody the divine feminine, or you might already be on the path of embodying her, or you are already standing in her power. This is why you were drawn to it. And you will be crowned. Union is inevitable with twin flames. It is all a matter of time. It is all a matter of how many lessons do you have to undergo until you purge all the past karma, until you open up your heart, until you are ready and willing and able to accept love, to accept the blessing of this divine love, until you are able to have all the bedrock, the foundation of your love set in stone, so you can generally build with your twin flame in this lifetime. But it's coming. Hard work. It's coming, and it will be something that will reward you for the solid foundation you are building at the moment. I feel like you are, by removing all parts of yourself that are no longer helping you, I see that you are taking this coffin, you are taking the wood of this coffin, so you freed yourself from the burden of thinking that you are just a walking dead, you're just walking life with no aim, no meaning. You met your twin flame, now you have a purpose. So you're stepping out of your coffin, metaphorical coffin, and you're taking the wood and you're taking it apart and you're using it to lay the firm foundation of your relationship. It can be any other material, but you have to take the lead, to take charge of your life, to embody this kind of like almost like fatherly archetype. I see stags as the fathers, the protectors of the forest, okay? So as you're entering into this forest, searching to come into union again with your twin flame, for you it's like a super shamanic journey, because it's almost as if you're not just entering the forest, you're sitting on the outskirts of the forest. You know that in order to reach your twin flame, you have to go through a lot of different things. So it's like you're sitting outside of the forest, putting like war paint on your face, preparing yourself shamanically, like all the spirits, all the animal spirits, your ancestors are swirling around you, kind of blessing you, kind of enhancing your aura. And it's almost as if, okay, I'm ready now. I've received everyone's blessings. I'm taking control. I am brave. I'm walking through the forest. And the forest means facing your fears, working through your inner child wounding, repairing relationships with your parents if they can be repaired, processing trauma, working on your self-confidence, taking control of your finances, okay? Learning where you can be controlling and where you need to be vulnerable. And then at one point there will be a clearing in the forest where you will meet him or her and come into union. And there might be the need for another separation, but each separation, each moment of union and separation is kind of just, it's amplifying, you know, it's like the turbine of an engine. It's just revving up until it basically either explodes or pushes the car forward. So, and it would only explode if it's locked in a loop where it can't actually decompress. But this kind of relationship, because of the fact that you guys are separated from time to time, decompresses quite well. So that's why the sacrifices are necessary. This is the second wolf of the charioteer in the chariot card in the major arcana. This is the white wolf. This is the one that shows spiritual development, spiritual victory. The spirit winning over the light, winning over the darkness. And this is what your spiritual life path is. You're meant to purge the darkness from within yourself and from within your twin. And as you guys are purging karma, deep ancestral wounds that need to be healed, as you're closing everything up, stitching it, like you're creating a patchwork blanket, you know, then in the end you'll be able to enjoy your love. The dead rise again with googly heart eyes, right? You're able to love your inner children. You're able to connect your mindsets that are both facing in the same direction. They're not opposite from each other anymore. Both of you are in a prosperity mindset. Both of you are ready to love again with your hearts open and cleansed, like two happy children that are ready to play, no longer having to hide. And you've pared down yourselves only to the bare bones, only to what's essential, and then you can build again on a completely new foundation. Basically, this is how I see these two cards coming together. You see all the light, all the candles behind them. Love, deep love, solar plexus energy, throat chakra energy, heart chakra energy, root chakra energy, all these colors on a very solid, stable, grounded, earthy foundation. The wood, the earth. The wood comes from the forest. So you're able to chop down the trees. You're able to clean the forest and chop down, not all of the trees. I'm not encouraging deforestation, of course, but you're able to chop down a couple of trees to start building your home, to take the lead, take the charge of your love story. 5 + 8 is 13. 1 + 3 is 4. So yeah, solid spiritual foundation. This could be the equivalent of the 4 of Wands. It's not here, but I basically am feeling it through. So this is your spiritual life path, to be in a twin flame relationship and to work through it, to understand what it is and how it can manifest. And there's a little fly that came into the reading as well. Interesting. So again, things flying about, spirit is speaking to you through all of these beautiful animals, animal synchronicities, 7/7. Yeah, building your foundation. I'm already feeling like, woof. It's difficult, but it's so beautiful as well. Once you manage to bring this into being, once you manage to bring your love into a solid foundation, you'll feel like this crowned queen. So that was the message that I had for you. Pile number 5, my twin flame group. Oh, I send you all my love, all the light that I am able to summon and send to you in the spirit, almost Reiki style. So feel free to hang around, have a look at my other pick a card readings. There are many playlists on my front page, or have a look in my description box as well. Many goodies down there. I'll be able to come back at you hopefully soon with another pick a card reading. I hope this message resonated. If it didn't, if you're tired of the twin flame journey and you renounced it, pick another pile, okay? There were some synchronicities between this pile and pile number 2 or 3, I think, okay? Send you so much love. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile number 6. This is for those of you that were drawn to the Emperor, the final major arcana figure in this installment. Okay, so let's see what your spiritual path is in this lifetime. I'm going to pull some cards from the Mariel Tarot, and then I'm going to pull some cards from the Santa Muerte. Okay, so let's see. From the Mariel Tarot, pile number 6, the Emperor. What is their spiritual life path? Bit of a blocked energy. What's happening here? Okay, I had to literally pull one out of. Okay, one more. Whoa. It's like blocked and then they just jump around. Do you know that song Jump Around by House of Pain? To be an additional message. So, Santa Muerte Tarot. Pile number 6, the Emperor. What do we have for them? What can we let them know about their spiritual life path? Okay, great. They all flipped around. And now, I feel like your life path, your spiritual path has a lot of detours, has a lot of winding things, a lot of unknowns. Interesting. Now I'm going to pull one card from the Animal Spirit Oracle. Came straight out. You have one of the most beautiful animals in the deck, to my mind. Pile number 5 had a beautiful one, but gorgeous. Okay, so let me show you the cards. 9 of Discs. Ace of Swords. I love this image, the eagle tied to a mountain rock. 5 of Cups, Chiron. The unicorn stepping out of the fountain of life. Chiron. Okay, now I understand why the detours. You have here Horse Spirit. Freedom is yours. Gorgeous card. 3-3. Again, first synchronicity I see in your deck. 3-3 could be a really significant angel number for you. Speaking of 3, the Empress. I feel like you should have a look at the Empress pile as well. Temperance. Beautiful. The angel that keeps replenishing your cup. 2 of Wands. I feel vendetta. Vendetta keeps coming to me when I look at this card. And finally, for a second I thought this was the 9 of Cups, but it's the 6 of Cups. She is carrying only 6 cups. We have the 5 of Cups, the 6 of Cups. Your life purpose. Your spiritual journey is one in which you have to understand what forgiveness means and how you can exercise it. You could be a person that is immensely resourceful. The 9 of Discs lets me know that you are a very resourceful person. It's almost like you are very self-sufficient. You have everything you need. You can create your own resources. You can easily manifest things. You might work with the energy of the moon. You might have always been drawn to spiritual practices and spirituality. I feel like you came into this life quite spiritual to begin with. This is why you are so resourceful, so strong inside. And you're capable of radiating this to your external environment to some extent. But I feel that life is kind of putting your back up against the wall many times. It's almost as if you know that you want a better paid job and you're doing everything you can to get that better paid job, but then you don't get it. You found the person that you think is the one and you're working towards getting that person, but then that person rejects you and moves on to someone else. You live in a family and you're very dedicated and committed to your family, but then your family loves another sibling. You're tested, you're tried and tested. You could have a North Node in Capricorn, or Saturn on your North Node. A lot of tests, a lot of harsh lessons, a lot of being sent back to the drawing board over and over again. It's like, not good enough, not good enough. Try again, you know? And I feel how you are like, clenching, how you're like, gathering this energy of, oh, when is my time going to come? Because you feel like this, but life keeps you wrapped up, tied up, connected. This beautiful, bold eagle that has this fire in the belly, wants to go out and explore. Look at its clenched claws, right? So it's about exercising patience. If life were to give you everything that you know you are meant to receive, because you have this inner knowledge, you will become very arrogant very quickly and you would waste it. So life is meant to purge your ego by putting you through these lessons to spiritualize you, to teach you about patience, to help you understand that life is not only about achieving certain outcomes, life is about the journey. Life is about enjoying the ups and the downs. It's not about just sulking in your bedroom because you couldn't get what you wanted. It's not about trying to get a lot of things so that people love you. It's about the fact that you are already lovable. But you have to learn to understand and accept yourself how you really are, not based on material, tangible achievements. It's almost as if you came into this world with a lot of desires, and these desires need to be purged. They need to be solidified. They need to be transmuted. I feel like in a past lifetime you had a lot of things, and that's why you came into this current lifetime. I feel like I need to move around, move the energy. See, to move the energy. Maybe in a past lifetime you had a very good life, and you came with the knowledge of, wow, well, I'm accustomed to having a lot of great things, so why is life not giving me these great things, unconsciously you had this thought process. And in this current lifetime, it's like life wants you to develop a sense of inner freedom from your desires. You are not defined by your job, by your relationship, by your family. If those things are taken away from you, or if you're not successful at those things, then who it is you really are? What defines you actually? And you are meant to come to the realization, just like the Emperor card that you were drawn to, that you are spirit. You are a spiritual being. You are a being that, even if you suffer blows to the ego, you are able to heal those. And I see here with Chiron is the wounded healer. It's the centaur that suffered a wound that he cannot heal in himself. So he carries this wound with himself or throughout life. But he teaches other people how to heal their wounds based on his previous experience of being wounded. And he was betrayed by his other centaur friends that he trusted. So the wound is a deep wound regarding trusting somebody and having this trust betrayed. But then you go out in life and nonetheless you teach people how to open their hearts, how to be trusting, and how to love, even though you feel like you can't trust anymore yourself. Does that make sense? And the interesting thing is that you become healed eventually by the fact that all these people that you're helping, you're opening the hearts of all these other disciples, of all these other people that you're teaching, and then they're coming back to pour the love, the trust back into you. They're pouring back this temperance energy. Your patience will be rewarded. The way you handled each blow in life with grace and patience and self-renouncement, self-sacrifice will be rewarded eventually, but it is a process that takes a bit. It takes a bit of time, and it has to take some time so that not only the lessons unfold themselves one after the other as they should, but also that you take time to process your feelings, that you take time to master and control your lower desires, and you learn what it means to empathize with another person, what it means to help another when potentially you might be at a low. Yeah? It's almost as if you will be put into a situation where you feel you have nothing left to give, and still you give. Where does this energy come from? Where does this patience come from? Where does this capacity to empathize with others come from when you are wounded and hurt yourself? Well, it comes from spirit. You are meant to connect with something higher than yourself in this incarnation. That's why your suffering blows to your ego, because spirit is like knocking down your ego because it wants to seep through. It wants to spiritualize you. You are a child of God, and you are meant to live and enjoy life, but you're not focused on that. You're focused on achievement, on building your ego, on strengthening it, on acquiring or getting things. No, you're meant to enjoy the ride. Things will come to you at the right time, when they have to, when God is kind of like eliminating the obstacles. It's like, there, green line, now you can go. But first you have to start to love yourself, as hard as it sounds. This is the spiritual path that I see for you. Treat each lesson, each block, each obstacle as just the moment to, oh, okay, so I can't have this right now. So I need to just go back into myself. I need to do something that makes me happy. I need to potentially connect more deeply to other people. I need to maybe help them in some way. When things aren't working out for me, maybe I can help other people. Maybe I can spend some time studying more deeply what it means to connect to other people. Maybe I need to work on how I communicate with other people. Are you being open to other people? Are you expansive in how you communicate? Are you sharing your feelings with other people? Are you just very briefly, shortly answering to emails without putting any heart into them? Are you generous with other people? Are you sharing your resources? Do you speak with confidence? Or do you put yourself down and you just lock yourself away while you're waiting for life to give you what it is you deserve? It's all about how you live your life, not what you acquire in this life with this placement. This is your spiritual life path, to learn to enjoy life, to learn to love yourself, and then the rewards are coming. It's not a question of you first getting the rewards and then I'll be happy. No, it works the other way around. Does that make sense? Six of Cups kind of lets me know here. The Six of Cups is a very nostalgic kind of card. In this deck though, it looks a little bit, I just got this deck quite soon, so it looks a little bit interesting because it's just a lady almost like rushing over from a party or towards her house with 6 cups. So I feel that life already has given you quite a lot of things. Emotionally, you are very well stocked up, so to say. But I feel like you're using these emotions just for yourself. And potentially, you need to learn how to free your mind, unfunk yourself, give to others without any expectations of return. Share with others, teach others, be kind with others without expecting them to come back and give you something. Because that's the true meaning of unconditionality. That's when we're vibrating the highest and the best, yeah? Learn from people who have Venus in Pisces. A well-manifested, exalted Venus in Pisces. It's all about unconditional love and giving to the greater good, connection with spirit. I think, for example, you would be the kind of person who would find it very hard to pray. Learn to pray. As simple as that. Devise your own prayers if you don't agree with the prayers from the religion in which you are brought up in. You could be a Pluto in Sagittarius. So you're brought here to transform praying, transform religion, change dogmas. And I am touching my eyes a lot. I feel like there's a lot about, you know, your eyes and how well you take care of them and your connection to other people, how well you look other people in the eyes, how strongly you feel that you can do that. And only a person that is able to have a clear conscience and knows that they are not hurting anyone on purpose is able to go to bed with a clear conscience and very well rested and is able to look other people in the eye. So do things that not only help others, but also keep you in check a little bit. Don't take the shortcut. Don't cheat. Don't lie. Don't manipulate. I feel that you might be tempted to do that. I don't see any devil cards, but I do feel like you're quite protective of your freedom. But don't do it at the expense of other people. Understand your responsibilities. 3-3 is a significant angel number. And 3 is also the sign of the communicator. So I think definitely when life gives you a blowback and it ties you up to puts your back up against the wall and you're like, again, I have to start over, or again, I have to wait. Work on how you communicate with others. I feel like your communication should be very generous, should be very giving, should be very healing. But maybe you think it is, but maybe it's not. So spend time on learning how you ask for your desires. How do you make your needs known? How do you exchange information in personal relationship? How do you check up on people or check in with them? It requires a certain amount of bravery, and the Emperor, the higher form of the Emperor, is all about being brave, working twice as harder than your subjects, your soldiers. You are the Emperor. You're the hard worker. You are the inspiration. You're the one that takes the responsibility of the whole group on its shoulders when things are not working out. You are the first one to jump into the line of fight. That's why people respect you, because you are the bravest, you are the smartest, you are the one that trained his body. Okay? But you are the one who is willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good of other people. And if you're a woman, you could be embodying this Emperor energy. So in the highest form, it's about bravery. In its lowest form, it's about control. Killing life, keeping things so trapped. Or loving your freedom to the point where you have no other responsibilities to anyone else. But your spiritual path is to get in touch with that, to get in touch with your generosity, to understand that if you give to others unconditionally, at one point when it's meant to be, they will come back and give back to you. And as you wait, as you work through these setbacks, as you heal your heart, you will have everything that your soul knows already is meant to come into your life, to reaffirm this 9 of Pentacles energy that you were born with. But it's not by demanding it and not by pulling a tantrum and not by like locking yourself away and having a victim mentality that you're going to achieve. No vendettas, no revenge. This is only going to drag you backwards even more. So if Spirit puts an obstacle in which it wants you to work on yourself, if you act on your lower impulses during that period of waiting, you go even further back. You create even more karma. And you'll be further away from being crowned an emperor, further away from your truest, deepest desire. And you might even have your freedom infringed. I see that this is the pile of people that might retaliate to such an extent that they might have problems with the law. Yeah, Aries is a lot about not respecting the law, clashing with the law, because it's polar opposite. It's Libra, the law. So yeah, work through your wounding, through your triggers, consciously come to the realization you are the only one responsible for your happiness. And what you do with those setbacks, it's all up to you. Spirit is going to send them to you as tests. They are meant to help you grow even deeper in your freedom, in your knowledge that you are this eagle. You can achieve anything. So no vendetta. And yes to generosity with yourself and with others. If you feel that you are overcome by sadness, by victim mentality, by this need to get revenge, to retaliate, just rest. This is just a sign that you've been pushed to the limit and you need to rest. Then, when your forces are replenished, step back into this original Nine of Pentacles energy and patiently work. Work through your inner child wounding. Work in how you communicate to other people. Work in how generous you are with other people. Work on your relationships with people that you've known from your childhood. And build. And then, if life will send you more setbacks, you will already have built a strong foundation. You won't be pushed to the ground again. You'll be somewhere in the middle of the mountain, and then you'll be able to climb it back again. Just like those really funny goats that put themselves in weird positions, right? Yeah, so definitely I feel a very strong Capricorn or Saturn influence with this group. All the tests or the setbacks are meant to help you master yourself, to become an authority, to become this emperor. And once you achieve this, because you will, with perseverance, patience, everything you want will be yours and more. Riches beyond what you can expect, both spiritual, emotional, but also material, financial. Because there is a connection between those, our self-worth, and how people value us as well in the world. Pile number 6, this was the message that I had for you. Entering the forest is an act of courage, and the forest is stacked up with limitations for you. But if you manage to work through it, cut those evil branches, push yourself to go towards the end of the forest, you will reach the end of the forest and you will see this beautiful field of sunflowers and you will emerge victoriously. So I hope you enjoyed this message. It was a pleasure for me to give this message to you. If it did not resonate, please choose another pile. Simply let this message slide. Although I think there was a really deep reason why you arrived here. There are no coincidences in life. Have a look at my other pick a card readings. I'm like, oh, have a look. I'm a little bit tired, guys. This is my 6th pile for today. So yeah, have a look at my pick a card readings. In my description box as well, you'll find lots of goodies. It's always a pleasure to have you guys around. I send you all my love and I'll see you soon in another one. Bye, guys.